You guys see my screen?
Yep. Know your customers.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is so great to be in this space with you today. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Dr. Rhonda Henderson, and today we're going to talk about something that can transform your marketing and sales. Knowing exactly who your customers are and how to reach them. We're going to walk through a couple of real examples from businesses just like yours so you can see exactly how this works. So, first, I'm going to start off with a little bit about me. I help small businesses and startups grow. My slides started moving. Okay, there we go. I am a full time business professor for City Colleges of Chicago. I'm the facilitator for the PIPE program, which is through the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council, former faculty for the 10,000 Small Business Program, uh, business advisor for the Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women in Business program. I'm also a business advisor for the University of Chicago Polsky Center and a business owner just like you. So, needless to say, I'm all about small business development. I'm part of the ecosystem. I'm here to help you in any manner that I can. So, today's agenda, we're going to cover several things. We'll start with why all of this matters. Then learn how to identify segments using real business examples. I'll show you multiple customer profiles from different industries so that you can recognize a pattern. And then I'm going to give you some practical steps that you can take away. Now, if you have any questions as we move along, please feel free to put them in the chat. I will try to answer them as we go along versus waiting all till the end. Let me ask you this. Have you thought about your marketing and it really just isn't landing? You're doing all of these different tactics and nothing seems to come about. You're not getting likes, you're not getting calls, you're not getting sales. So this is a problem that many startups face. One, because you're trying to appeal to everyone. You can't necessarily talk to everyone. Your website may give a message that says, we're perfect for everyone. And that can then lead to it being viewed as generic. The same thing goes with your social posts, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. You send emails out, and your emails are sent to everybody with the same message. Again, it's not speaking to anyone specifically, so no one is paying attention. Plus, you're burnt out thinking through just how to come up again with tactics using time and budget, and the customers just aren't there. So, with that, I want you to begin thinking about this solution: customer segmentation. Segmentation is basically dividing your customers into groups based on specific or shared characteristics so that you can better serve them. That's just basically a fancy way of saying stop treating all your customers the same. You want to put them in groups based on those commonalities that they have. So you want to think about what matters most to them. You want to create messages that actually resonate with this audience. And this will lead to improving customer satisfaction and loyalty, and also increasing sales without increasing spending. So let's look at our first example here. Imagine you're a local bakery and you realize that you have two different customer groups. You have the morning commuter. They're in a rush between 7 and 9 a.m. They want their items with speed. So they're looking for coffee and pastries. They don't want to wait around. They want things quick and on the go. And then you recognize that your other segment is the weekend bruncher. These are the folks that come in late on Saturday. They sit around, they relax, they talk, they take pictures, they connect with others. They care about quality and experience. It's the same bakery, but it has two different needs. So in order to best serve both of those audience, it is important to understand exactly the pain point, also the need of that particular segment, AKA, what do they really want? So we're going to move into how you identify your segments. In its simplicity, you're going to think about your business segments in three different elements. Demographics, this becomes the basic stuff like age, income, where they live, their family status, um, all of those different dynamics about them. Then you're going to think about behavior. How do they interact with you? Are they shopping online, in store, once a month, once a year? Are they spending $200, $2,000? How exactly do they expect for the encounter or the experience to be? And then you want to think about the needs basis. Why are they buying? What problem is your product or service solving? What do they value? Do you have a value add? All right. So I'm going to pause right there and see, are there any questions? Perfect. No questions. Um, Actually, I think this would be better if I do it this way. Brittany, if there are questions in the chat, can you just give me a little hand signal? And that way I don't
I will.
necessarily have to stop.
I sure will.
Thank you. So you're thinking, where does all this information come from about segmentations and putting them together? Uh, Recognize you already have the data. All right. Oftentimes, we think we don't have the data, maybe because we're just getting started. We don't have that many customers, but we actually do. So you want to start looking at your sales records. You want to recognize if there's any patterns there. You want to think about your customers and the conversations that you have with the customers. What questions can you ask them in order to better connect and get an understanding of their needs? All right. You want to begin to engage more in the conversation and the community that surrounds your business so that you're able to find out the things that people love and also the things that frustrate them. So, as you gather all of this data, you want to have it in an organized way. So, you want to think about at least 10 of your customers right now. That's enough to start. And think about what their needs are. All right. And in thinking about what their needs are, you want to think about how do you best service their needs. So at the forefront of all of this, it's all about being customer oriented. That's something you're going to see me repeat throughout this session today. Being customer oriented, looking at your business through the eyes of your customer, assuring that you are using the data to make decisions in your business versus saying, I think or I feel this should be done. You want to look at decisions in a manner that the data shows that I should be doing XYZ or offering XYZ. There's a segment to support it. So, with that, you want to start organizing your data. Again, think about your sales records, your customer conversations, any email engagements that you have. You should be tracking opens and clicks, which is really easy to do with Google Analytics, social media, and then also reviews and feedback that you receive. All right. How do you find out what customers love or hate? Sometimes it's as easy as just asking them. And so surveys or having that conversation with them can give you that insight. So now you may be thinking, how many segments should I have? I work a lot with small businesses, and I've recognized on average that small business owners have 2 to 4 customer segments. You may have more, and that's absolutely fine. But I want you to start thinking about your top 3 segments. These are the top 3 segments that essentially is bringing business into your organization. Do not overcomplicate this. All right. So you want to think clearly about those segments, what you know about them, what you need to learn about them, etc. All right. And so, with that, you want to be able to clearly see the difference between those different segments. For example, let's say you have a fitness business. And in this fitness business, it has been recognized that the top 3 segments of memberships are the early bird athletes, which are the people that show up at 5:30 every morning. That I'm trying to become an early bird. I just can't get it. I'm trying. But anyway, they're serious. They track their metrics. They're competitive. They're there for high intensity and their workout. They're in there getting it right. And so then there's another segment, and these are like the lunch break warriors. They come midday, tops, they may have like 45 minutes to an hour to work out. This is where they come to de stress, and they're consistent about just coming every day, getting that quick workout and out the door. All right. So the efficient workout matters to them, making sure, again, equipment is available and they're able to get in and out without an issue. And then there's the social fitness seeker. This is the person that comes in the evening and or weekend. And so they're there for the community. They want to go to fun classes. They're in there talking to everyone. They know everybody in the gym, and they're essentially there for the community. The experience is most important to them. The results of the gym become secondary. And so this is the same gym, yet there's 3 totally different motivations for the different segments. So the gym owner needs to really evaluate how they're going to best meet the needs of each one of these particular groups, because again, this is their top three segments. Okay. So the gym, the studio, sorry, may create different classes for the 5:30 group, where there's some sort of hit boot camp, very intense. But then they may have something that's a little less intense for that lunch warrior, where they're just seeking to come in, do what they need to do, and get out. And so, with that, I want you to just think about your different segments. And again, how can you best reach them in focusing on their need and why they're there in the first place? Next example here. This is for a jewelry store online. So they're all about e-commerce, and they have everything on an online platform. They recognized they had two segments. The gift buyer that shows up about 2 to 4 times a year, maybe Mother's Day or Sweetest Day that just passed, Christmas, birthdays, etc. They spend about $50 to $100. They want the gift wrapped, and they stress about making sure it ships on time. And then you have the person that's the collector. This is a person that's a super fan of the items that you sell. They love the artistry and handmade appeal, the uniqueness of the items. And so they buy a piece every single month. They follow you on social media. Their average order is $150 plus. They want early access to new designs that you have in your collection before anyone else sees them, because they want to be the trending person with your particular collection. So, because we have two different segments here, sending out a generic email that states something like new designs available may not appeal to both of these segments. All right. In thinking about the segmentation and dividing them up, there can be one message sent to the gift buyer reminding them, hey, holiday season is fastly approaching. Make sure that you begin your holiday shopping or look at our collection to see what we have going on. And then the other message for the collectors can be more of behind the scenes or early access information. And so, with this, you will recognize that because the message speaks directly to that particular person, that there's more engagement and more follow through with open rates, and then also an increase in conversion. So, I want you to think about your top segments. Think about those 2 to 3 distinct customers that you see in your business. I want you to consider, how do they differ from each other in what they buy, when they buy, why they buy, and how much do they spend? Are there any questions?
Not a question, but you do have a comment from one of
Okay,
your participants. Would you like me to read it?
absolutely.
This is from Samia. She says that she works in education. She says she has comforts, parents who care about emotional needs, nutrition, play, etc. She calls those the academic focused parents. She has the busy bees, parents who care about the hours and availability. And then she calls the other set of parents the pop-in parents, those who want to socialize and have events. She says she asks a few questions to find the category and focus on their interests when she does tours with them.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. And so you recognize that those people coming in fit in one of those 3 or 4 categories, and then you know how to best connect and engage with them during the time you're giving the tour. Absolutely. Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments? All right.
At this time.
All right. Perfect. I'll keep it moving. So now we're at building customer profiles. You have identified your customer segments, and that's a real exercise I want you to do. Okay. So I hope you made notes. Now what? This is where you will build out a detailed customer profile. So, what exactly is a customer profile? This is a detailed description of that one segment. All right. Um, in developing a customer segment, this allows you to think of all the information necessary for you to best understand and serve this particular audience. So the profile basically will give you a lot of insight as far as who they are, uh, how they behave, what they need, pain point and value, which is very important, how you can reach them, and what to do differently for them. All right. So each segment is different, and the goal is for you to understand them well enough so that you can tailor everything you do to what they actually need. For example, you have the time-starved parent. And this here particular example can work with someone that's in a meal delivery service, tutoring, cleaning service, whatever. So with that, the demographics of this person, they're 30 to 45, have a household income of 60K to 100K. They're living either in the city or the suburbs. They have children under 12. All right. So that's pretty straightforward. Some of their behavior: they buy online because they don't have time to shop in person. They do it late at night when the kids are in bed. They love subscriptions because they have one less thing to think about. So they spend about $50 to $150 a month on different items. Their needs and pain point. All right. So one of the big things that's a pain point for them, of course, is time. All right. So they value convenience. Um, and sometimes in valuing that convenience, the value convenience can be over the price, right? So price doesn't necessarily dictate the demand for them. They get frustrated when things are complicated, and they want recommendations that they can trust so they don't have to research everything themselves. Now, with this, we want to think about how we can reach them. We can reach them on Facebook, Instagram, right? Specifically, parenting groups and pages that connect to parents in the local area. We want to make sure that we have content that is valuable, not just things that sell to them. So we want to think about messages that resonate with that person. All right. Getting back to what matters, or trusted by busy families like yours, or those type of terminologies that essentially will have people take one action. So now in the action steps, there may be 3 things that can be done for this particular segment. One would be to create a subscription option where there's an automatic delivery. All right. This saves time for the customer. They'll receive information about what they receive is timely and ready to use. The next thing is providing time-saving tips, probably in like a weekly email or some sort of messaging that you connect best with them. And then lastly, feature the parents' testimonies on social media. And so this here can be used for marketing purposes to better connect with other like-minded individuals in that same segment. So in thinking about this more in a visual manner, this here becomes the profile. As we see here, the demographics are listed. The behavior is also there, the needs and pain points, how to reach them, and the action steps. What's interesting about the customer profile is that it becomes a very necessary tool for you to have to, again, better understand your customers. So you're constantly adding information to this, getting to know them better, thinking about where they find information, what type of groups are they connected to, how they value certain aspects of your offering, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of times you'll see business owners name their profiles to give it more of a human element. So they may name this Sally, for example. And so this here just represents the ideal person within that particular customer segment. So our next example, we have the budget conscious millennials. All right. So this is a completely different segment. They are 25 to 35. They make about 35 to 55,000. They're urban renters and college educated. They research everything online before buying. So in being customer focused, we have to recognize we are living in the era of the self-educated buyer. And what that means is that often before that person walks through our door or go to our website, they're looking us up online. They're looking at their alternatives. They're actually evaluating if this is a good buy for them before actually then going to the business to find out more information. All right. So with that being said, they're looking for coupon codes, and they may even abandon their cart until they find one. They buy quarterly and not monthly. They spend about $20 to $25 to $75, and they follow brands on social media so that they can see what's trending, what deals are out, and also get discounts. The needs, they want quality, but they absolutely do not want to overspend for it. They hate hidden fees and surprise charges. So they want value, transparency. All right. And then they also want to feel that their purchase is justified. They want to be able to feel like they made a smart buy. And they want to also be able to ensure that it was budget friendly. So this is, of course, a totally different segment, different age, different income, different priorities. but yet it could be targeted by the same customers. So in understanding this particular group more, the company would look to uh, connect with these customers in a different social channel. So instead of Facebook, like the last group, they're looking at Instagram or TikTok. They're creating messages that uh, really put emphasis on value and transparent pricing. They're also looking to show that there's no surprises, or there will be an experience where you get the most for your money. And so, with that, the action steps may be to create a comparison content showing the value versus competitors, offer, of course, student or first time buyer discounts, have clear upfront pricing on all of the channels. So it's consistency across the board and there's no hidden fees. And then also share budget friendly tips and hacks. And so when you start thinking about some of these actions, we'll notice that companies that target both of these groups tend to do some of the action steps that were outlined. And this again flows from understanding the needs and pain points of those target audience, and then essentially moving from that point. So this here is just the visual of that particular group. The demographic information is listed, behavior, needs, and the pain point, how to be reached in action plan. I'm sorry, action steps. Again, and thinking fully about what we know about this person, and this being a place where you can consistently add information to it so that you can better understand. When it comes to just marketing and sales strategy, everything starts with the customer. And so, with that being said, you have to develop strong customer profiles to fully connect with those individuals. All right. We have recognized time and time again just how large businesses will take the time to understand the different segments, develop these profiles, and then they're right on target. And you're like, wow, this product speaks to me. It really resonates with what I need to buy. All right. Why? Because the company took the time to understand their target customer. All right. Or their potential customer, with that being said. So I'll pause again and ask, are there any questions?
No questions in the chat at this time.
All right, perfect. So let me give one more example here with actual results. So the situation, there's this small business consultant that was struggling, and she'll get a lot of inquiries, but few clients, and the conversion rate was actually really terrible, like 5%. So, in realizing that there is a problem with the marketing for the business, uh, she recognized that uh, I can't serve everyone. All right. My website is speaking to how I help small businesses, and that is basically meaningless. I mean, what does that mean? You help them do what, right? With that, sitting down and looking through the list of past clients, she was able to identify two clear segments. One was the solo entrepreneur. This is the person that has like a DIY mindset, and they're learning how to do things themselves. Because, of course, in the beginning, that's what we have to do. We have to wear many hats and understand all of those different dynamics of our business. So, in recognizing the solo entrepreneur, this person needs templates and frameworks and courses, and they also have a limited budget. And so, with that, she also recognized another segment, and this is the growing teams. They may have 5 to 10 employees. They don't necessarily want to learn, they want to have somebody else do it for them. And they have a real budget for this particular type of project, maybe like $5 to $10,000 or whatever have you. So, with that, and being able to understand the two top segments of customers that is being brought in, instead of saying, well, I'm gonna just focus on only one, I'm going to develop product that meets the needs of both of these audiences. So for the solo, it may be creating online courses and templates. And for the team, it may be these done for you consulting packages. And so, in understanding this, there needs to be a separation of the marketing material. So it will be a separate landing page and a separate lead magnet and separate emails that go to each one of these particular segments. All right. And so it becomes the same business with the same expertise, uh, recognizing that each one of the segmentations in the business have a different need. And so, therefore, it must be focused in offering and in messaging. So I want you to now think about your customer profile. This becomes the next thing for you to note. I want you to create a profile for one of your segments. And if you like, I can email you the template that I showed. You want to pick the one that is most important to your business or is the most common segment for your business. You want to then think about everything that you know about them, the demographics, the pain point, where they find information, all of those different dynamics. So focus on what you already know about them, and then make guesses if necessary. But ultimately, you want to essentially research. It's all about, again, understanding your customer, having your business be customer focused, customer centered. And in order to do that, you have to understand your customer and why they do business with you or the potential of doing business with you. So let's now put all of this into action. Now, I have a couple of quick asks of you. And one of them is for you to really begin thinking about your customer again, and thinking about how you can best connect with them. So I'm going to give you 3 quick wins for this week for you to implement. Well, it's Friday, so you have all weekend to get this together, and then you can hit the ground on Monday with it. How about that? I want you to think about adjusting your marketing message to connect with that one particular segment. And you don't have to do this everywhere, but just pick one place where you feel that most of your customers are going to. And just again, test it out. All right. And draft the message where it speaks directly to your top segment. The next thing I want you to do is focus your next campaign or promotion on what that particular segment values most. All right. So, again, we're taking a targeted approach to this. And then I want you to begin tracking your segments, labeling your customer list, or utilizing a customer relationship management system. There's a lot of different systems out here that are great. Again, I can email you guys some resources in regards to that, but I don't want to recommend one against the other. But there's a lot of tools that are great. And so with that, recognize if you see any patterns in regards to these customers, where they find information, their pain point, their need, etc. And begin being intentional about connecting with this audience. Avoid these mistakes, all right? Don't try to create too many segments at once, all right? I was working with a client last week and I asked them to send me their top segments. And when I opened the email, it was like 10 different ones. And I was just like, this is a overkill. You're not going to be able to focus on 10 different groups at one time when you haven't been focusing on any. So with that, let's select your top 3 and focus on those and build momentum. And then you can branch out and start doing all the others. So this here, it becomes the difference between the shotgun and the rifle, right? Recognize if segments have too many similarities, all right? So chances are, if there's a whole lot of similarities and you really can't see a difference between them, then they should just be combined together, all right? So really, again, think about what makes each one of those customer bases different. I want you to make assumptions where there is zero data. All right. How do you know what your customers want or what potential customers want? Talk to them. It's nothing wrong with calling up your top customer or your top potential customer and having a conversation to find out what they're looking for and how you can best connect with them. So, customer profiles stay at the forefront of your marketing strategy. Over time, as your business grows or if it changes, these customer profiles may do the same. And so that's why they can't be ignored. So this exercise is not about you just building something and then putting it away in a desk and never looking at it again. This is something that you essentially put on your board. Well, I have a board, a business board, but you put on your board. So as you're thinking strategically about your business and your business direction, especially now since we're moving towards the end of the year, and we're all about making sure that we hit the ground running effectively beginning first quarter 2026, you want to make sure you keep your customer profile in mind as you begin developing your marketing strategy. All right. And don't try to serve all of these different segments equally. you want to prioritize. So again, as I stated, be sure to pick your top 3 segments, and I want you to label them. This is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. You're going to focus on number 1 first. You're going to be very intentional about how you can best serve this segment. And then after you have done all the research and all of the necessary steps in order to best serve them, then you move to the second and then to the third. So with all of that, before we move into some more questions or some questions, because I haven't had any really, I want you to really focus in, all right? And focus on the win. You cannot be everything to everyone, all right? And that is the importance of customer segmentation. I've met many small business owners and I've asked them about their customer base and who they serve. And they're like, everyone. All right. There is no way you can effectively service everyone. All right. Even when you look at the large businesses, when you really focus in on their messaging and their positioning, there is segmentation involved in that. So you want to make sure that you realize that you need to take a focused approach and really understand your segments. So again, you're going to start with 2 to 4 and base it on the data that you already have. If you don't have any data, you can do, again, the research. This is going to lead to me adding in. I'm going to add in something on research. There is a building that's located in downtown Chicago, and I feel that it is very underutilized, but has a vast amount of information. And this is the Harold Washington Library, all right? 4th floor is business research. So anything that you need to understand about your business, all right, the data, customer profile development, etc., you can go in there and find free resources. So please be sure to utilize the library for your research data. And also, if you don't live in the city, the library has reciprocity with suburbs, and you're able to utilize their resources still. So anyway, going back to this, so you don't need any fancy analytics or big budget. The resources are out there. So you also want to build those detailed profiles and really, again, think about how you're going to approach your messaging based on those profiles. All right. You also want to take the action this week and make those small changes. And trust me, once you begin being more targeted, being more intentional about connection, you will notice a difference. All right. So I created a challenge for you all. This is called the 90-Day Segment Focus Challenge. And so with this challenge, we want to transform your business by mastering one customer segment. In this challenge, you're going to pick one customer segment and commit to serving them exceptionally well for the next 90 days. no distractions, no trying to be everything to everyone. You're just going to be focused and intentional with your action to your most important customers. So, our roadmap for this challenge. First thing you want to do, day 1 to 30, you want to build your foundation. The first thing you want to do is complete your customer profile. This here became the information that I shared earlier, your homework, right? And identify your top segment and document how they are, what they need, and how they behave. In week 3 to 4, you want to audit and rewrite your marketing. All right. Update your website as necessary, any email templates that you use, and make sure that the messaging and content on your social media speaks directly to this segment. Okay. So, again, we're focusing only on one for this challenge. Days 31 to 60 is about execution and engaging. So you want to launch targeted campaigns, create content, emails, and offerings specific for this segment. Again, the beauty of marketing today, especially in digital marketing, it does allow for you to test messaging. And if it's not working or getting the traction that you desire, you can change it. And so, with that, you want to make sure that you also engage in the conversation. All right. Engage in the channel where your segmented customer hangs out and track what is working. You also want to measure and monitor your conversion rates, the engagement, and of course, the sales from this particular segment. Days 61 to 90 is all about optimization and scaling. So we want to double down on what is working. We're going to redefine our approaches based on now the data that we have collected from the last 60 days. And then we can begin to increase our investment in the tactics that we have found to be successful. We want to then document those results, calculate the return on investment, of course, celebrate all of the wins, and then decide from that point if we're ready to add on the second segment and or go deeper into the first one. So with this challenge, there's a lot that you can achieve. One, you can achieve having a crystal clear understanding of your best customer. Again, you can't be everything to everyone. And so it's important to be exceptional to that particular 1 to 3 segments of your business. You'll also achieve a higher conversion rate from your focused messaging, more efficient marketing spending. All right. And so we want to really hone in on the best ways to utilize our marketing budget and not just be out there wasting it. And so then that way we get a better return on investment. This will also lead to stronger customer relationships and loyalty. And this also is how we retain customers, right? People tend to do business with those that they trust, and that those that take the time to foster an effective, positive business relationship with them. We will also increase revenue from our most valuable segment and have the confidence to scale upon what is working. So I'm going to pause right here. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns about this challenge?
Dr. Henderson, you have a lot.
Oh,
So it increased during your last break here. So
okay, I'm ready.
just to share, some of the comments, folks were saying, thank you for the information. You're a great teacher, great research. A lot of people want these resources that you mentioned as far as emailing, so they've expressed interest. Now on to the questions. So Milton, he sent two questions. His first question was he wanted you to talk a little bit more about the segment labels. He didn't go into detail, but that's what he asked for his first question.
Okay, so Milton, what exactly are you referring to when you said labels? Are you talking about how I assigned the name to the profile, or are you talking about just the overarching uh, title of that particular segmentation?
He just responded. He said, "What strategies should I use to be more to be effective?"
Oh, okay. So you want to think about um, all of those different dynamics of that particular group. So in looking at your customer list, so let's say, again, I like to use small numbers. We look at 10 different people, and you notice in that 10 that six of them are moms, working moms, and then maybe the other four are stay-at-home moms. Okay. And so with that, there's certain elements of their day, their pain points, their time that needs to be documented. And so with that, you want to just base the labeling of those segments off of what common element will describe them.
Okay. He has another question as well. He mentioned. He said, "Do you use ChatGPT for market research and segmentation?"
That is a great question. So I love AI. All right. I'm not a chat person. I use another platform. It's called Claude. I find that Claude is a little bit more intuitive than chat. But I have heard a lot of good things about Chat GPT as well. So, yes, AI can definitely be utilized to help you with research and then also to just give you more insight in regards to your different segmentation. So you can actually take all the information that you do know about your customers and ask the system, like, well, I noticed that my customers buy this amount during this time, whatever it is, give it the prompts. And then based on the prompts, ask the system to help you in generating a customer segmentation or give you some insight into what you're missing or need to find out so that you can develop the segmentation. So AI is definitely a great tool that can be utilized. Yes.
Okay. Next person just says, Philip says, "I never knew about the fourth floor at the Harold Washington Library, so thank you." Um,
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of architect, but there's a lot of resources inside there too.
Angela has a question. So she says that she teaches financial education and feels that a large amount of people really need her services. What are some examples that you can give to narrow down her customers?
Absolutely. So I agree. Financial literacy is very important, and there is a large amount of people that do need those type of services. When you begin thinking about those individuals, you will notice that although there may be a difference in the demographic information like age and sex and all of that, income, etc., what you probably would notice is that the commonalities come from mindset and the way that they view money and budgeting and all of those different dynamics. And so that's what you really want to get an understanding of and develop the segments based on that, the whole behavioral or lifestyle element of things.
One more question from George. George says, I provide consulting services for real estate development projects. I have two segments, real estate professionals and investors. Do I need to break these down further?
Yes, yes, yes. And so if you say real estate professionals, what does that mean? So you really want to be as specific as possible. All right. That could be, are you talking about managing brokers? Are you talking about property managers? Are you talking about people, the construction managers? I mean, so there's a lot of different dynamics. And so again, in breaking it down further and really recognizing who those people are, commonalities that they may have. It may be, again, a mindset, it may be an education, etc. Then you can take more of a targeted approach towards those groups.
And George replied to all of the above to your answer to your question. Do you have time for any more? You've got one more that came in.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It looks like and Milton also said thank you as well for those for answering those. And Angela also as well. So Alexandra says that any advice when provided B2B services? You speak a lot about B2 customer. Could you explain the B2 business piece?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when you start thinking about the customer profile for B2B, it's essentially the same concept because there is a human element that is, of course, involved in the business to business aspect of things as well. And so with that, you want to think about those elements that's most important to that person. So it may now be that the demographics and all of that stuff is not relevant, but it may still be the pain point. That person is very busy, they're on a time constraint. They get a lot of samples, they get a lot of calls, they need information available on in real time, whatever those dynamics are. And so if you just think about your ideal customer with that, the person that you're essentially dealing with, and then begin to humanize that position of what exactly they go through, then you can develop a profile that will allow you to have content that speaks directly to them. So, an example, I have a client that does event planning. So, specifically, what she does is not necessarily planning of the event, but helping event planners with the promotional items that are utilized in the event planning space. So, with that, there's certain elements of the person that she's dealing with that she already knows. She knows that person is stressed out. She knows that person needs to have things done right the first time. She knows that a person is on a deadline and they have to stay within budget. They have to make the organization looks good. So everything has to be delivered in the most exceptional manner. So in knowing these different elements about that person in the B2B space, she's able to position her messaging to speak to the pain points. All right. So you want to think of it again as still having the human element and thinking through those other aspects or characteristics of the person that you're dealing with in the B2B space. Any other questions?
That is it for now. They are just very excited about the resources.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I do see the information, asking for the information for the 90-day challenge. Yes, yes, yes. So wait a minute, let me move my slides forward because that was the one slide there we just did. And so then, yes, connect with me. Send me an email, rhenderson46@ccc.edu. Or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll definitely send you the information for the challenge. And then also, if you want to just sit down and pick my brain for 15 minutes on this whole dynamic of customer segmentation, please feel free to send me a message as well.
Thank you, Dr. Henderson. I wanted to reach out to Marty from BACP. It looks like someone does have a question about some of the previous recordings. If you want to answer that question in the chat.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I see it. Can you share? So yeah, I'd say like 95% of webinars are recorded. And all of those do go onto our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/ChicagoBACP. It takes anywhere from like 1 day to just a couple days, depending on I don't know, the people uploading, but yeah, all of them should be pretty up to date by now. I know quite a few were just uploaded yesterday. So I did just post the link in the chat for everyone. This one will probably be up, check on like Monday morning, Monday afternoon. But yeah, thank you. And I guess if we're all good with questions, I do want to take this time to thank you, Brittany, for your help. And then of course, Dr. Rhonda Henderson, thanks so much for sharing your Friday morning with us and teaching us all these very valuable things that you taught us. Really appreciate it. And everybody, that concludes this webinar. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.